Hi digital marketers, this is Faisal Amin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you how to set up TikTok pixel conversion API for both server and browser for Shopify store. This tutorial is the part 1. Here you can see that browser side tracking, and after sometimes you can see the server side tracking, which is part 2, and you can see that is our Shopify store for this store. Today I am setting the TikTok pixel conversion API, and if you go to the backend of the Shopify store and see that themes are selected, and if you go to the three dot and then edit code, I am activated the data layer for Shopify store and also add the snippet. And for the purchase event, if you go to the settings and in the custom event, here you can see that I am also adding the custom pixel. I will give the link on the video descriptions. You can find out the total video how to activate the data layer for Shopify store, and also in the description you can find out each and every implemented code. By using this code you have to able to activate your data layer for your Shopify store. So let's get started for the main task. And firstly, you have to complete the registration process in the TikTok Ads Manager. After completing the registration, you can find out this kind of interface. So after completing the registrations, you can go to the tool sections and then event. In the event sections, you have to able to create the pixel in the TikTok Ads Manager. So you can see that at the left side, you can find out the connect data source options. Then I am clicking on it and find out the three options. One is web, second one is app, and third one is offline. But our today target is web, so I am selecting the web and then hit the next button. Here you have to provide it your website URL. So I am paste the URL and then finally next. And from here you have the option to set up the Shopify and also other partner integration and also the manual. But today I'm setting the manual, so I'm selected on it. Then next. And these three options you have to select the first one, which is TikTok Pixel plus Event API, because we are set up the both of site tracking browser and server, so that we are selected on it and finally click the next. And then you can find out the options. Here you have to provide the pixel name, so I am just adding the pixel name. Just I am giving my name. You have to use any kind of name as your business name or goals, whatever else. Then finally click the create. And in the second options, you have to find out the copy base code. So I'm copy the code and back to Notepad to store the pixel code, because I am using this code in Google Tag Manager. So I am just store it. Then next, and you can see that manage configuration, you have enabled the automatic advanced matching, that will be the recommended. So you have to add it and then next. And setup event, you can also click the next, because if you launch this event builder, then your website is open, and by using this website you have to select each and every button, your event, you can select all of that. But I am creating the manually, so I'm just clicking the next. So a fifth one is verify pixel setup. So that is they have to provided the plugins. You can test your all event, but I am not install the pixel helper because I am already installed on my computer. So I'm clicking the next. And set up the business funnel. That is the most important thing. You have to select each and every event from this section. So firstly, you can see that choose a template. So here I am selecting the e-commerce, because today I am set up for e-commerce tracking. And in the, if you scroll it, and you can see that each and every event you have to find out in the left side, and in the right side you have to find out your each and every event parameter. All event parameter are listed in the right side. So according to your needs, you have to select the event parameter and also deselect the event parameter. So I'm just selecting the which one we have to implement on this event. We are just selecting all of event parameter So I'm just deselect the event parameter for the view content event, and you can see that customer information parameters, email, phone, and external ID. You know that for the view content event, we do not find out any user information for the view content event. So I am just deselect the customer information parameter. This customer information parameter we have to use only for the purchase event, not for the view content event, so that we are deselect the all of user information parameter. So event API only, here we have to find out TTCL ID, that is the kind of cookies of the TikTok. So you just deselect the IP and user agent. I am just selecting the two cookies. One is for browser and second one is for server. If you search on these cookies in your internet, then you can find out more of that. You can understand what actually need for the event. So I am set up the view content, add to wish list. That is not necessary because I am not interested on it. If you need, then you can select it, and as usual you have to also select the event parameter for to wish list. So I'm deleting on it, and also I am do not interested on the search. I am deleting also add payment info event. I am not interested on it, and add to cart, that is the recommended event for e-commerce tracking. So I am select the add to cart event, and right side you have to select your essential event parameter for the add to cart event. So content ID, content type, name, currency, value, that all are more essential as an event parameter, and TTCL ID and TTP also the need to for browser and server side tracking. Then next one is initial checkout. That is also the same. And for the initial checkout, I am also selecting the all event parameter, and for the place and order, I am just deleting all of other event. I am selecting the place and order, and for that you have to find out your essential event parameter in the right side, and finally go to the next. And here also the generate access token you can use for the server side tracking and pixel ID. You need this ID for set up a conversion API in Google Tag Manager. So I'm just clicking the next, and if you scroll it, you can find out your all event name and event parameter which you are selected before individual. Then go to next and finish. Then I am completed the process, and here you can see that your overview sections for event, and you can also find out the test event, and you can here test the event. So I am completed the task from the TikTok event manager. Now back to our Google Tag Manager to set up each and every event. So go to our Google Tag Manager, that is our Google Tag Manager, and that is our tag sections. I presume that you all know that how to create the tag trigger variables and how to connect your Shopify store with your Google Tag Manager. If you do not yet, you can check my YouTube channel. From here you can understand how to create all of that. So I am clicking the new for setup TikTok base pixel tag configuration and find out the custom HTML, because TikTok provided me the HTML code. So you know that I am already store it in my notepad. So I am just copy the code from here and paste into the HTML sections, and triggering will be the all pages, and tag name will be the TikTok base pixel, that is for the page view, and save the tag. So then submit it, then go to preview option to check out that our page view are working or not. And you can see that in the right side, tag assistant connected with our Shopify store, and back to our tag assistant in Google Tag Manager. You can see that our TikTok base pixel are working. So one by one, I have to set up each and every event. So go to tag, new tag, tag configuration, and that will be the TikTok pixel. If you do not find out this section, then you can search the discover more tag types in community template. Then here you have to find out the TikTok pixel template. So I'm selected on it and find out the pixel ID. Back to our TikTok event manager, copy the ID from here and back to our Google Tag Manager. Paste the ID and event name will be the view content. And now we have to adding our event parameter. So here is the options one by one. You have to adding your event parameter for the view content event. So I am selecting the add row option, and first one is key, that is the parameter name and value. Content name and value, you have to adding the value. So click the plus sign, also click the plus sign, variable configuration and data layer variable, and back to your tag assistant. Here you can see that view item event. So I am trying to find out the item name. Here you can see that item name. So how can you pick that? Firstly, pick the e-commerce items, and for the third bracket, that is the array. For the array you have to put 0, then item name. So e-commerce items dot 0 dot item name. So back to our Google Tag Manager, e-commerce dot items dot 0 dot item name. So we are adding that variable name, giving the variable name, that is DLB item name. Save it and finally add. Our first one is time to second one. Second one is content type. You know that is a static value. You can just type the product for it and add it. Our second one is added, and third one is content ID. So again we have to adding the value. So click the plus sign, also plus sign data layer variable. So the same process, that is the item ID. So I am just adding it. I hope you understand. E-commerce dot items dot 0 dot item ID. I'm adding it, just giving the variable name, that is DLB item ID. Save it. We are adding the third one, and fourth one is, and also click the plus sign, also plus sign, variable configuration, data layer variable. Go to tag assistant. Where is the value? That is the value for view item event. So just we are adding the e-commerce dot value. So back to our Google Tag Manager. Here we have to put in the data layer variable name, e-commerce dot value. So that is the DLB value. Save it and finally add it. And our last one is currency. So again click the add row, and key is the currency, and for the value click the plus sign, also plus sign, variable configuration, data layer variable, and back to our tag assistant. Where is the currency? Here you can see the currency. So firstly we have to pick e-commerce, then currency. So e-commerce dot currency, and then variable name is DLB currency. Save it and then add it. We are adding all of required event parameter. Now time to add the trigger. So we are click the triggering option, plus sign, trigger configuration, and that will the custom event, and event name is the view item. So I am just giving the trigger name, that is event view item. Save the trigger. We are done all of that. Just giving the tag name, that is for the TikTok view content. Save the tag. So we are adding the view content event. So for the add to cart, not necessary create each and everything again and again. Just we are go to the shortcut method. Just open the view content tag, and in the 3 dot we have to copy the tag and just rename the tag name, that is for the add to cart. And here you have to find out the event name. We are just change the event name, add to cart, and as a event parameter the all are same for the add to cart. So we are do not change anything for the event parameter, just we change the trigger. So click triggering, plus sign, trigger configuration, custom event, and then just adding the event name add to cart. So event add to cart. Save it and also save it. So for the begin checkout, you know that is for the multiple product. So firstly we have to create the variable, that is the e-commerce items variable. So click the new variable configuration, that will be the data layer variable, and just in the data layer we are adding the e-commerce dot items, that is the e-commerce items in the e-commerce item sections, our data layer are showing the all product. So we are adding the e-commerce items variable. So save the e-commerce items variable first, then we move to the begin checkout event. So go to tag and open the add to cart. Again, we have to copy the tag, and then that is for the begin checkout, and we have to change the event name, that is initial checkout. And in the additional properties, we are editing the content name, so we are just edit it and remove the content name. That is work for the single product, but you know that for checkout event we have to working the multiple products, so we have to create the new value for content name. So click the plus sign, also plus sign variable configuration, that will be the custom JavaScript, and here we putting the code. You can see that a file I will adding with the description box. So here I am just adding, copy the CGS item name from here back to Google Tag Manager and paste it. Here we have to change some changes. We have to adding the e-commerce items first, and in the item name here adding the return item name. So by using this code we have to track the all product for the checkout event. So we have to adding the variable name, that is CGS item name. Save it and also save it, and then we have to edit the content ID. So we are clicking the edit option and also remove the content ID as well, and also click the plus sign and then plus sign variable configuration custom JavaScript, and then here you can see the item ID. So copy the item ID from the code section and paste it. Again the same process, we are changing the e-commerce items, and by using this code we have to enable track the each and every product for the begin checkout event. We have to put in the variable name, that is CGS item ID. Save the variable and also save. So we are adding the all of event parameter. Now change the triggering. So we are delete this. So we are adding the new trigger for begin checkout. Here you can see that begin checkout event and save it. So we are done for begin checkout. Now time to our purchase event, that is the conversion event. So we are open the begin checkout event, and as usual click the three dot for copy the tag, and then we are change the tag name, that is for the purchase. And initial checkout we are adding the lesson order, and in the additional properties we now see that all of event parameter, but we have to adding the new event parameter for that, that is the quantity. So click the add row and adding the quantity, and for the value click the plus sign, also click the plus sign variable configuration custom JavaScript, and go to our code section. We have just copy the CGS quantity from here and paste it. Just change the our total items, e-commerce items, adding it. By using this code we are able to track the total quantity for the purchase event. So variable name is CGS quantity. Save it and also add it. We are adding it, just we change the trigger, so that is for the purchase, that is the custom event. We are adding the event name purchase. Now time to adding the trigger name, that is event purchase. Save it. We are almost done. Just click the save and also click the submit, publish it, and go to our purchase event. Here we have to some mistake. We are do not providing the hash email and hash phone. So how to create the hash email? So back to our variable section and click the new. We have to adding our email and phone. So we are go to our data layer variable and back to our website and go to our purchase event to find the customer information. You can find out the hash email and hash phone. So how can we pick the data layer variable? So firstly pick the customer address and then hash email. So here back to our Google Tag Manager and customer dot address dot hash email. So we are just adding the variable name, that is hash email. Save it, and also the second one. So we are just open this variable to copy it. Just we are change the email phone, save it. So we're adding our hash phone, hash email. So go to again tag and then purchase, and then we have to add the parameter override, that is hash email. So we are adding the hash email and also the hash phone. Save it. So submit it, publish it. So after completing the all setup, now time to examine that our all event are perfectly working on Node. So go to preview option. So connect our website, and you can see that in the right side our tag assistant connected. So open a product page for the view item event, add to cart for the add to cart event, and then checkout. And you have to provide the all user information to examine the purchase events. I'm adding all of user information, and finally click the pay now button. So you back to tag assistant. Here you can see that your all tag is fired, but you do not see the purchase event in the tag assistant event. For that we are using the custom pixel code, so you do not see the here. But if you go to the TikTok event manager, then you can see that your all event are showing here, and that will be the active for the browser side. So thanks for watching this video. I will see in the next video. Topic is server side tracking of TikTok pixel. Thank you. Bye bye.